The anime season continues on unabated, and as is a traditional part of this point, I'm falling a bit behind with my viewing. Thankfully, I've seen enough shows to bring out another set of 4 anime reviews for the new season, and I have more series ready to go for more reviews in the future. This time we have another couple of shows that are familiar to each other. It's something that's becoming a trend this season, but unlike the 2 boy band shows from last time, these shows actually look like something I'm actually interested in watching. So join me in looking in at some more anime from the 2017 Autumn Anime Preview, from a different perspective. Civilization is dead. Thankfully, this is not our present. It's a future as foretold by the new anime series Girls' Last Tour. Now, I can honestly say we're going into a season, whilst I'd read that this was a thing, I had no idea what the show was going to be about, or what I was getting into. But after watching episode 1, I want to know more. Girls' Last Tour takes us into a post-apocalyptic world, as we follow the 2 main characters as a journey through this long abandoned land begins. It's an odd series really. Throughout the entire episode we just have 2 characters, and there's no real storyline other than 2 of them riding through a long and deep tunnel. Not much actually happens, just a whole lot of scenery, and a whole lot of small talk with our girls. Of the 2 girls, the car met the pair is Cheeto. She's the driver, and the one who has her head screwed on tight. The other girl is Yuri, the airheaded one. She's much more relaxed in terms of their journey through a strange empty world. Whilst watching it, I couldn't help but compare its storytelling to a classic series, Kino's Journey, as it's 2 people travelling a strange world, experiencing it for the first time alongside the viewers. However, unlike Kino's Journey, which is about both the people they meet and the world, Girls' Last Tour is about the 2 girls experiencing the world and exploring it with us. One of the things that stood out for me quite a bit was their mode of transport. They ride a Kettenkrad motorbike, kind of a cross between a tank and a bike. It's quite an odd thing to look at since you have a tank tracks to the rear, but a single wheel up front. It looks very stable, and it climbs stairs like a pro. The first episode is just us introducing us to the girls. But the second half of the show really shone, as they emerge from underground to find a snowy wasteland full of demolished buildings. So at this point we see them keeping their marksmanship in check, taking target practice on some old cannons with a classic looking rifle. The whole thing comes across as a slightly light-hearted look at where a land obsessed with war will inevitably end up. It's surreal, but it's not heavy-handed on its commentary. If you do want to check out this for yourself, you can find it over at Anime Strike in America and on High Dive in the UK. So far this season, anime shorts have been in quite short supply, with only one show meeting the demand for bite-sized anime offerings. Thankfully, Taisho Mebius Line Chichai-san is here to fill a pocket-sized gap in our schedules, with another 3 minutes of episode shorts. As the title kind of gives away, it's a historical setting anime set in Japanese Taisho period, which ran between 1912 and 26. It's a classic period for anime, with many period series set in this very interesting period of Japanese history. Our main character is a man called Hiroaki Kyoichiro, and he's travelling to Imperial University from his village. It's a classical setting, with Kyoichiro travelling on a classic looking train, sword by his side, but looking more like a scholar than a swordsman. The opening of the series makes it look just like another Fujoshi bait show, with lots of pretty boy Taisho period men, with strange chibi versions of themselves. On the train, Kyoichiro is talking about the spirits of Tokyo being rather cute, so I can guess that for some reason it's turned into a spirit. There's also another chibi Bishonen guy sitting in a tree, because that's clearly a thing. This is one show that is hard to judge based on just a single episode. The settings and the backgrounds are absolutely beautiful. The story is something I can't really comment on since we've only really had a single episode at this point. I'm actually so far behind with these preview guides I could easily go on that way and watch episode 2 right now. Especially as it's only 3 minutes long. I'm not going to do that. I've done all the previous previews based on just the first episode. It'd be unfair to do this one based on 2. So ultimately, should you spend your time watching the show? I honestly can't say that. Knowing the show disgruntled me to a point where I don't want to watch it. But I probably won't. Not because it offends me, but just because it appears to not be a show that will appeal to me. Your own mileage may vary, and you can test it out over at Crunchyroll. Earlier this episode, when talking about Girls Last Tour, I compare it to a classic anime series, Kino's Journey, in that it is what I like to call an atmospheric series, where the atmosphere of the world is itself the main character. The actual characters just taking us on a wonderful journey throughout. Amazingly, we also have another series that will get compared to a classic Kino's Journey series quite a lot this season. We have Kino's Journey, The Beautiful World, the animated series. Yep, that's right. We're actually revisiting this wonderful series, only updated for modern anime standards, meaning that it's beautifully produced and streamed for a world to see, of course. Now, to take us back to the beginning, Kino's Journey is the story of a young girl, Kino. She doesn't really appear to be a girl, and her androgynous appearance is something that doesn't really get brought up. It never really has a major impact on her storytelling. Kino is travelling the world, from country to country, experiencing what each country has to offer. She doesn't travel alone, however. She is accompanied, if that's a correct phrase, by her motor lad Hermes. He's a very loyal companion to Kino, always by her side and going where she goes. To be fair, he doesn't really have much of a choice since she's the one controlling the handlebars, but he's not an unwilling companion. I said earlier that Kino's journey, despite how awesome Kino is, the world is the real star. That continues to be as such in the series. Kino travels with a simple rule. They stay in each country for only 3 days, 2 nights, no longer. 3 days is a perfect time to experience what our country has to offer. But not so long they overstay their welcome. Each country they visit has a different experience of strange quirk. First episode they visit a country where killing people is not illegal. Contrary to what you may be thinking, the country hasn't descended into anarchy. It's actually a really nice place to live, where people are kind, friendly, the food is really nice. Everything changes once an idiot enters town, wanting to pick a fight with Kino. Knowing when it's not illegal to kill people, he pulls out a gun and threatens to kill Kino. It's at this point, the reality of the country rears its head. Whilst it's not illegal to kill somebody, that doesn't mean that it's acceptable to do so. And upon the threat, everyone else of the country draw their own weapons and kill the man. The subtitle for Kino's journey is absolutely perfect. It really is a beautiful world, if only due to a lack of beauty in the world. If you ever saw the original Kino's journey, then you'll know what to expect. Despite the change of voice cast, it's still the same magic that we loved from the first series. If you're still on the fence on watching the show, just do so. It's a beautiful world, and it's on Crunchyroll. Anime based on characters in another world are becoming a more and more frequent thing in recent years. Shows like that can be split into 2 different types. There are those that are set on actual other worlds, and those set in the virtual world of online video games. Recovery of an MMO junkie, as you'd probably guess, is of the latter. What makes this series different from all the other games is that the main character is a grown-up woman, rather than being a high school-aged boy. We first meet Momiko as a rather respectable office lady, returning home after a final day in work after quitting her job. She looks like a productive member of society, until the next day, however. At this point we learn that she's a gamer, and not just any gamer, she's an MMO gamer. Her favourite MMO has just been shut down. In finding another game we see her creating herself a pretty boy male character. It's only fair. You're only looking at a character for an hour's an end. Why create a character that's not pleasing to look at? I do the same myself. And so we meet Hayashi, her in-game persona. Hayashi dies several times in the quest, and as a result ends up meeting a really cute priest girl, Lily. They become friends and start playing together. It's a wonderful story, and the reactions of Mariko in real life are so very, very adorable. In the first episode, there's a whole lot getting to know of Hayashi and Lily, and lots of their in-game bonding. We also see a whole lot of Mariko's fall in the world of neatdom. Admittedly, she's a neat by choice, but it's silly seeing how her slowly upgrade her kit to make her in-game experience all the better. In the end, we have a touching scene of Hayashi and Lily, when both getting each other Christmas presents. Make such a sweet couple, it's easy to forget that she's actually played by a girl. But just as we're forgetting it, we cut back to her being adorably clueless. There's actually another scene of her real life going to a convenience store, where a guy sees her buy a game card for a game. Takes some interest in it. It's interesting. I'm sure he's going to be a part of the story later, but for now he's just foreshadowing. Possibly someone in game? Or someone she'll get to know in the game. Who knows? Shows like this can really walk a tightrope of pain and awesomeness. The result of this one's tending closer to the awesome side of things. I do look forward to seeing more of Mariko explore the game, and hope to explore herself throughout the game and her in-game personality. It shall be an interesting journey to see how she grows and what difficulties she finds as she tries to recover from being an MMO junkie. The name is to be believed, at least anyway. You can find Recovery of an MMO Junkie streaming over at Crunchyroll. And that's the end of this bunch of episodes. But not the end of the anime season, of course. There are a load more shows I need to both watch and review. So what did you think of these shows? Personally, I think they are much better than the previous 4 shows. But as I always say these things, your mileage may vary. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts of the season so far are, and join me next time for some more. Thank you very much for watching, have a wonderful day, bye bye.